Edo-san told me that the majority of the people, or young people in the UK, lost the confidence on the politics.
But
Yes.
those people's opinion is not
But why
not,
they
not affected.
They
don't
don't-
start
To
the-
arrive. Well,
some
it's
sort of
very.
activities
Last
like
week
that.
was it last week? We looked at the video. There was this comedian who pretended to be a reporter, right? Who was saying something about it, and then he pretended the camera was off,
Oh.
and he went off about
Hmm.
politicians. But what that tells me is also this is something that's it wouldn't be funny if whole England would be arguing against their politicians, but they're not.
Mm.
They are basically lethargic. They are not responding. They are not getting angry. They're basically they just given up on the whole political system.
Hmm.
I
But
mean, actually, ordinary people.
But I wonder why they start some sort of activity to insist about such kind of feelings on the.
Well, what? Yeah.
Is that the difference of the nature of the people?
Well, I mean, France has always been much more like France is the #1 country in the world, historically speaking, going on strike, arguing against
Okay.
like it's the country where the revolution started. We didn't have that in England,
That
so
might be something behind that.
it's a little bit
Yeah.
it's a little bit different. So French people still are very critical and direct in their criticism towards the government. I think the critical attitude is probably the same, but the way that they express it is different. In UK they express it by basically not voting, and in France they express it by
Silent.
by
Okay.
throwing Molotov cocktails and.
It's interesting. How come British people do not demand for the government action?
It hasn't always been like this. Like in the 1980s, when the mines were closing in England, there were a lot of protests. There were a lot of riots.
1980? What happened?
1980s.
Okay.
They were closing mines everywhere. There was a very high unemployment
Coal
rates. Yeah, and what's her name? The first Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, was reigning with a very she had a very tough reign over England. She was basically cleaning up the finances, cleaning up a house in the UK. But a lot of people were victim of that, and they didn't stay silent. They really revolted.
So,
But how come currently British ordinary people is very silent? Right? Silent.
So maybe below a little bit below the some sort of a threshold.
Right. There is. I think there is a big opportunity for somebody who's jumping into that hole and becoming a kind of like a new populist leader.
But what ordinary people are thinking? British
There is
people.
actually maybe there is one action, but while I'm saying that, I said maybe that's not possible in England because they have two big power blocks. There are just two-party system basically in the UK. So there is not really space for a populist leader only within the Conservative Party or Labour. So what we see now is Boris. He is a populist. I believe, but still within the realms of his party. So he can't really go overboard. But a country like France has many different political parties. You can start a political party there and run for parliament. That is the situation in France. That's the situation in the Netherlands. In England, because of the nature of their political system, it's much more difficult.
Okay, so there's no way for them to do or insist something within the system or the current.
Basically, actually, it's very much aimed at staying in the center.
So whichever they vote, nothing happens.
Exactly.
That's the feeling. Okay.
That's the feeling.
Okay. Yeah, because now I feel I understand because in the situation in Japan also we have so many political parties, and it is also even possible for the people to establish new new party.
Right. In the Netherlands, we have a party for animals. Yeah, a party for animals. They are a member of. They are in parliament. Seriously.
Well, okay. Which do you think is more healthy? The two-party system or multi-party system?
Multi-party system.
Okay, I agree. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's strange thing happening, but like in the Netherlands, we have seen populist parties come all of a sudden, and then next election they're gone.
Okay.
It happened.
It sounds like the people have healthy feelings on the politics system. Yeah. And maybe they feel okay. Let them try once.
Right.
And
let's okay. If you have such a big mouth, show it. That's the kind of attitude in the Netherlands.
I understand.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a.
Okay. Well, you have okay. I like what you're saying, but now show it to me. So they vote for them, and then yappari dame.
Okay. Well, so eventually it will be at the end of the political system of the UK right now.
It's a very old system. I mean, in the United States, it's the same, right? They have two-party system. But I don't feel that in the United States they are that lethargic. Again, I try to use this word, but I fail to pronounce it. They are not so passive. They are more active in
and still most of the people believes their healthiness of the political system of their nation.
Right.
Then they actively do something when some sort of
right, election. Actually, we saw it last week, but I would like to show some of this on the video that we saw last week. Remember the reporter that was
comedian?
Yes. It actually he made a very good point about the politicians and about what the real problem was about Brexit. So, well, populism, it seemed like it was growing everywhere in Europe, but people only go this far. They're not that serious about populism, and maybe it's not the next movement. Basically, people are kind of like, okay, it's their way of saying we don't like this, we don't like this, but we are not so stupid that we really want to play all our cards on the populist movement. We just want to keep checks and balances on our own politicians and say, okay, we need to do something. Otherwise, I mean, you're replaceable. That's the kind of idea I got after.
You just put the name Chavez names on. Is he populist?
Definitely.
What?
Hugo Chavez is absolute populist. Well, I mean, there's a difference between Chavez before he became a leader and Chavez after he became a leader. After he became a leader, he immediately turned into some kind of a left-wing dictator who believed that he could not be missed, suppressed all the capitalists, and worked for the people while
it's very similar to Erdogan.
Yeah, Erdogan, yeah.
But the oil price is so high, so he can scatter this country's money to the ordinary people. So what's wrong?
Well, that country lives completely beyond that. What's wrong? There's a lot of things wrong. There is no freedom for the people in that country. There is the country.
Wait a minute. This is a populist and dictator different.
The country could be doing a lot better.
No, I'm talking about populist.
What?
He is dictator,
right?
But I believe he's not populist. He's normal dictator.
Chavez?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a simple dictator, not populist.
Chavez is an absolute populist.
What are you talking about?
Oh, because actually, like as a populist, if you look at the definition of a populist, that is a person who speaks on behalf of the oppressed people, giving them back what is rightfully yours. That's basically what he did. He did not really promise to uplift the country. He just said, okay, you're being oppressed by the capitalists, and they are stealing from us, and I'm gonna make sure that you get.
Oh, this is socialist.
It's a socialist, but so he's a left-wing populist. But you have right-wing populists. So populists basically they are talking to the majority, and they're talking not to their heads, but to their bellies, to their hearts, to their underbellies. Basically, they are trying to tap into dissatisfaction, into where they're not being heard, address that in a way not with constructive solutions, but with basically magnifying whatever is wrong with them, and they should be they have been taking their position has been taking not rightfully so. But
what about Venezuela's current president?
Well, I actually do not know enough about him. Maduro, you mean?
Maduro.
Yeah, I don't know enough about him. But also, I heard the term populist, but I don't know enough about him.
This is a very discussion we did last week. Populist, he defined definition of populist. I don't agree with him. Like Chavez is dictator, but I don't.
But he came to power as a pure populist.
No, he only distributed money for people.
Yeah, exactly. As a populist, he didn't have any concrete solutions. The way that he got to power is by having a negative campaign, by just saying, "Oh, I'm going to take all the money from the rich and I'm going to give it to the poor. I'm going to give it back to you because it has been taken from you, rightfully so." It is pure populism. It is not inclusive. It is not. Basically, he was going to give power back to the people, but instead, what he did,
how come he just give money for the
he became a dictator.
University fee is free,
yeah,
and the health care is free,
right?
And so
but why does he do that? Because he cares so much about the people? No, because he needs to
had
keep
money.
the support. Yeah, exactly. He needs to keep the support. It's just like Gaddafi.
Is he populist?
In Libya, yeah, definitely. He needed to keep. He gave free education, free healthcare, just to keep the enough support to keep him in power, to make sure that people were not going to revolt against him. But he didn't do anything constructive for that country. Nothing. He just gave some money for.
No. He tried to do the many things for Africa.
Yeah, that was just his ego. But for Africa, not for his country, for Africa. That was just for his own ego. He wanted to be remembered as a great statesman. He did nothing for Libya.
Okay, how about Tsipras?
That's a difficult one. I think he is a populist too. Although he's now being accused of being a friend of Germany.
I'm populist. Yeah, populist definition is my thinking about, like Greece. They don't have money, but they don't give money as a pension. Try to consider for the people, even if GDP deficit, he doesn't care. Okay, we try to get population from people. This is populist. Right.
So basically, just show, okay, whatever. Tell the people that, okay, we're not going to pay back the money. We're not going to pay back the money. Don't tell them how you're going to actually make sure that the country doesn't go into a huge crisis. You're just going to tell them, we're not going to give back the money. Don't worry. And that's what people want to hear. So it's not a well-rounded solution. You're just going to say, we're not going to do that. Okay. In Ukraine, this election, the winner is a comedian. stand-up comedian who had a television show making fun of politics and really, and then he ultimately became the president, and then in reality he became the president. It's a pure
in TV show.
What? Yeah.
In TV show, he take a role as president. He originally was a high school teacher.
What was in the ordinary people's mind?
Yeah, ordinary people easy because this TV show is similar to reality. So ordinary people misunderstand he can manage president, but he have no experience as president. And just only in the TV show, and she got win. But she is not populist. She is just coincidentally got a position of president because of everybody watch his TV.
But the situation is like that. But that means the people in Ukraine are stupid.
Not stupid. Just
majority of the
don't
people
misunderstand. This TV drama is very famous. And he was a high school student, teacher, and he just as a candidate for the president. Then he win in the drama. So this is very, very similar to reality. So nobody understands he can manage the same way. But this is just like you said, very skeptical.
But but still, I think the most of the people knew that was like a drama.
No. Trump is the same. Why Trump get
Ronald Reagan
famous with? Trump is the same TV drama.
In India politics, Bollywood plays a very important role
for the to move the people.
Right.
TV is very impact for the Confucianism. Many people got name in TV show. So even though those people cannot speak out experience or deep insight. No, even though they don't have kind of things. He's a star in TV. Everybody watch him, even though he has poor opinion. This is actually prevailing.
A lot of people are not listening anyway.
No, we don't know that.
Sound bites.
No. Currently, I viewed many YouTube, many dramas. Why they got so many get repetition from audience? Because he just coming on many times in TV. Even if he has no opinion, but he got lots of appraisal from other people. This is true.
So people are not listening anyway.
No.
What do you mean no?
No, everybody listen to him.
But they don't care.
No, you mean
no,
yes?
Don't misunderstand.
No, yes.
Don't misunderstand. Everybody, ordinary people, if they're common sense, even if this guy is speaking a stupid opinion or a simple opinion, everybody listen to them. This is a fact.
Yeah. Okay.
You can see the YouTube.
I mean, hearing and listening are two different things.
No, for example, Ken Gilbert. Okay, if he is coming in the screen and YouTube, he got 50,000 access or 100,000 access immediately because of his name. Whatever he's speaking of, everybody watching.
Who is he?
Ken Gilbert.
Who is he?
He's an American lawyer.
Ken
Gilbert. You know that?
Very famous American.
He speaks Japanese. Okay, just he's famous on TV, right?
Is he famous among Japanese or among
Yeah.
Very famous. Ken Gilbert.
What he's talking about, everybody watching. If I'm going to on the same YouTube site,
right?
I just only get 2,000
because but
he's famous in TV.
He's an opinion leader. People
No, he's famous in TV.
Yes. In past, Yes.
Not opinion leader.
And but right now he gradually becomes some sort of opinion leader right now,
Right.
and he wrote so many things about the politics in Japan, and there are so many supporters, Japanese supporters,
Right.
and he is now on the right wing people, or one of the very active working right wing people.
He got a lot of audience.
Right.
And so things are prevailing all over Japan.
But that's probably a different kind of audience, because we're talking about opinion leaders and we're talking about television, like movie stars.
I'm talking about populists, okay? Populists is very similar to TV movie star or TV, just kind of person. He's coming up here in TV.
But
Those people are populists.
I